Good afternoon, everybody. We're now going to continue with the rest of the program, or at least the afternoon program. You've seen a couple of procedure and of course also Vibrant Sound Bridge. And we're very happy that MED-EL is one of the sponsors of this event today. And I've got Christine Moeilijke from Austria with me, and she's going to tell us about the technology update that MED-EL has. MED-EL has technology updates all the time, but she's going to present the current status of the product development. Christine, very nice that you came. She came all the way from Innsbruck today, and she's going back to Innsbruck as well. Okay, I give you the microphone and.
All right. Thank you very much. Very warm welcome from my side. As it was already told, I'm from Innsbruck. I'm working for the MED-EL company, and I work in the business unit Vibrant MED-EL. I want to give you a short update about MED-EL. We are a privately owned company, and we are the leading provider of hearing implant solutions worldwide, and we have implants for different degrees of hearing loss and for all age groups. We have cochlear implants, the new Sonnet you can see here. Then we also have electric acoustic stimulation, the EAS. We have middle ear implant called the Vibrant Sound Bridge. Then we also have a bone conduction implant, the Bone Bridge. And last but not least, we have an auditory brainstem implant, the ABI. What we are really focusing on is backward compatibility. So we want to have our patients use the latest technology. And that's why our speech processors are really backward compatible and can be used also with devices that have, or implants that have been implanted at a very early age. So I want to talk now about the solutions for the conductive hearing loss, since this line conference is about solutions in conductive hearing loss. So we have the Sound Bridge and the Bone Bridge system that are very good devices for conductive hearing losses. They are for transcutaneous implants, so the skin is intact. And you can see on the left-hand side, the middle ear implant Vibrant Sound Bridge. And on the right-hand side, the Bone Bridge, and both consist of an implant that is under the intact skin and an external audio processor. If we look at the audio processor, it's the Samba audio processor. There's a different version for Sound Bridge and for Bone Bridge. The patient can choose between colors, so a couple of colors come in the box. There's wireless connectivity options. And this speech process is adapting to different listening environments, like it has an automatic adaptation, it has a self-learning device, and it also has adaptive directionality. There's also a remote control, and the battery life is for 5 to 7 days. Then we have the implants. The upper implant you see is the Vibrant Sound Bridge. The latest model is the Warp 503. It has force-free implant magnets, so it is MRI conditional at 1.5 Tesla, and it has a direct drive, and the implant fixation can be done very fast with self-drilling screws. The Bone Bridge, the BCI 601, also has force-free implant magnets and make it MRI conditional up to 1.5 Tesla. It is a direct drive bone conduction, and it's a very highly efficient transducer, the BC-FMT, and there is no maintenance of the implant needed. Then I want to show you the different target groups which can be treated with those two implants. First, you see the sensorineural hearing loss can only be treated by the Sound Bridge, but mixed hearing loss and conductive hearing loss can be done either by the Sound Bridge or the Bone Bridge, and then single-sided deafness can only be done by Bone Bridge. So if we look now at one of the devices that treat conductive hearing loss, we have the Warp 503 implant with the couplers. Usually the implant comes not only with the implant, but also with the 3 self-drilling screws, one as a backup screw and a screwdriver. And then what you also need when you want to do surgery is the Warp Sizer kit. And that comes with the Warp Sizer implant and the FMT Sizer. And you also have the Skin Flap Gauge 7 that is delivered non-sterile. So that's the only device that you need to sterilize before you start with the surgery. Then we have different couplers that are attached to the FMT. And there is couplers for sensorineural hearing loss, like the SP, the short process coupler, or the LP, the long process coupler. But I want to focus now on the couplers for conductive or mixed hearing loss, and that's the round window soft coupler or the vibroplastic clip coupler. So now if you look at the round window, that's mainly also for conductive hearing loss and mixed hearing loss. So we have the round window soft coupler that is placed directly onto the round window membrane, and very importantly also put cartilage in the back of the FMT as a kind of that gives the FMT a pre-stress. The advantages of this coupler is that it's more standardized round window coupler, it's an easier handling, and the coupler itself is anatomically optimized. What is important if you have a canal wall down radical cavity, that you drill a groove in the inferior wall of the ear canal or of the cavity, because there you can hide the conductor link, and that prevents that you have later on problems. Also important is that the cable is bent a little bit so that it really, the FMT really stays in place over time also. And afterwards you fix the cable with Bombardier and also fix the conductor link. Then we have the vibroplastic clip coupler. The clip coupler is placed directly on the head of the stapes if the stapes head is strong enough, and it first needs to be cleaned from fibrous tissue. And very importantly there to notice is that this coupler looks very similar to a passive mid-ear prosthesis, but it works differently from a passive mid-ear prosthesis. The advantages of this coupler are that it's a standardized technique for coupling on the head of the stapes. In summary, the Vibrant Sound Bridge has celebrated 20 years this year because the first implant was implanted in 1996. It is a good solution for sensorineural, conductive and mixed hearing loss. There's thousands of patients worldwide implanted with this device, and globally it's implanted in over 500 clinics. So it's the most successful mid-ear implant on the market. And this latest model, the Warp 503, was first implanted in November 2014. And then I also want to talk a little bit about the BCI 601 implant with the BCI lifts. There we also have an implant kit that comes not only with the implant, but also with tools and with screws and a drill bit. And we also have a BCI sizer kit that helps you to use the bone bridge intraoperatively. It's also shipped sterile, so you do not have to sterilize it before you start with the surgery. And here is two instruments that need to be sterilized: the skin flap gauge 7 and the torque wrench kit that you need for fixing the implant. You also can order the BCI lifts with different models. The BCI lifts help you to not drill as deeply in case there's dura or sinus. And they're available in different sizes, either 1 millimeter, 2 or 3 millimeters, or 4 millimeters. And of course, the higher BCI lifts also have longer screws so that you really have a good fixation into the bone. The bone bridge is for mixed, conductive, and single-sided deafness. And here we need to look that there is important placement considerations. First, the coil should be really in a position that is really good for sound transfer so that the patient gets the most out of the implant. The BC FMT, the hard piece of the bone bridge, should be placed in, so that the sinus, the sigmoid sinus is avoided and the dura is avoided. And the screws should sit in a strong cortical bone and they should be on the same plane. It's also important to accommodate the implant to the patient's anatomy, and that's why we made it flexible between the BCFMT and the coil section. So you can bend it 90 degrees in both angles. Horizontally and vertically, you can bend it up to 30 degrees. Important with the bone bridge is that you do look at the CT scan before you start with the surgery to really find the best place in regard to sigmoid sinus and dura, and also to find a good place for the screws. So you need a flat area with enough strong bone and the screws should not harm any structures. And what you can also check on the CT scan is the skin section over the coil side. There is different placements where you can place the implant. Either you can put the BC-FMT into the sinodural angle. There you have as reference points the outer ear canal, the temporal line, and the sternocleidomastoideus. And the position of the coil is usually 45 degrees posterior superiorly in regard to the temporal line. And the position of the screws is usually superiorly and inferiorly. But then you can also place, in case the mastoid is already drilled out, you can place the bone bridge behind the sinus. So in ears that are already operated, you place the BC-FMT behind the sinus. There you have as reference points the digastric ridge, the sternocleidomastoideus, and the sutures. Position of the coil here is more straight in regard to the BC-FMT, and the position of the screws is more anteriorly and posteriorly. So this is a really good placement in revision tympanoplasties because the implant is away from the pathology and you can do a second look surgery. So in summary, the bone bridge is a really easy, straightforward surgical procedure. The BCI kit facilitates the work, so it makes the surgeon's life easier. And the contact with dura or sinus can be avoided by using the BCI lifts. And as a last slide, I just want to mention that we also have a surgical video library that is a collaboration with ARI, and you can subscribe under the email address that is listed here, and then you can see really high quality surgical videos that helps you when you learn how to implant our devices. That's all from my side. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the videos.